not short, frenzied outbursts of emotion, but the tranquil and steady dedication of a lifetime. Good morning. This is the Azorean One Anthony Esteves. Today is the Memorial Day episode. It is the Sunday before Memorial Day. I thought I'd do my best to present to you somewhat of a Memorial Day episode. As you can see, just barely over my shoulders. I'm going to have to work on the decorating on this show. If you're watching live on Twitch or later on any sort of other viewing device, YouTube, I don't know if it's on YouTube or not, but I have behind over my left shoulder a Navy SEALs t-shirt, and over my right shoulder I have a Army t-shirt, which, yeah, you work on my decorating skills when it comes to these shows. I am wearing the closest thing I have to being considered military. That is my Camp Pendleton Mud Run t-shirt that I competed in back in 2012 on my 30th birthday, on the exact day. When you compete in that, you do get a t-shirt that's got the Marine base on it. It's got the logo for the Mud Run and the Marine Corps on there. And of course, it has the American flag on that side. And it's got something on the back too. So this is my closest thing I have to representing the Marines, and that is my completion of the Camp Pendleton Mud Run on my 30th birthday. It's been a while since then, and I've been considering doing it again, but we'll see. I had my cousins with me to power me through. Anyway, I don't have an Air Force or National Guard t-shirt. I am willing to get some, so I'll be working on that soon, hopefully. Today is more of a Memorial Day post, more of a somber post. I do have traditions of watching specific TV shows and films that, fit with the mood for the weekend. I do try to visit the cemeteries and, give a moment. I will point out that today, as usual, what I'm eating and drinking for breakfast, of course, I am having Phil's coffee in a fantastic Marvel mug right here. Phil's Coffee from San Francisco. One day they'll sponsor us. We'll see. But it's delicious coffee. It's amazing. And I'm having a bagel with cream cheese and a very special topping. This is homemade strawberry jam. The wife and I went to a farmer's market in Elk Grove yesterday morning, over by Dick's Sporting Goods off Laguna. And we bought some fruit. They had strawberries and apricots. And my wife went to town on making strawberry jam. Okay? A long time ago, she bought a whole bunch of fruit from the farmer's market, strawberry, apricot, pears, peach, all that. Had the whole family here, and they went to town. I called it breaking jam. Like the show Breaking Bad. I called it breaking jam. That's what it felt like in here. We were cooking. Jam everywhere. Might as well have called her a Heisenberg, because that's what it was. So she's a jam expert. And this is the first batch of this year's strawberry jam. We got apricots as well. That's going to be fantastic. But this is the strawberry jam, and this, as you can see, there's only one half of bagel here because I ate the other half prepping for the show. Here's a big bite for you right here. Yeah. You got the cream cheese and the jam in the one bite. The boys are taking their time on their jam. Hit or miss with them. It's good. Not a chew. Hope you hear that on the podcast app. It's coffee. Now, for some reason, Disney XD did not have on their usual Marvel Marathon today. So instead we got DuckTales, which is drawn by Seth MacFarlane. I'm saying the right one. Am I saying the right name? No, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm messing up. Seth MacFarlane is Family Guy. Todd McFarlane is who I'm trying to reference. Woo! David Barry, I can feel you slapping me in the back of the head right now. Correction. Seth MacFarlane is Family Guy and is a great singer. Todd McFarlane does the new DuckTales on Disney XD. Or Disney Channel, excuse me. And that's what's on right now for the boys, yes? You need to finish your breakfast first, okay? So, Todd McFarlane's DuckTales on Disney right now, Disney Channel. So, there we have it. A Star Wars story did open out this weekend. Solo, a Star Wars story. It has some hype to it. I don't know if the numbers are looking that amazing for it. Like, I think it's gonna do fine. They're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna lose money, but I think it's gonna do fine. But it's not gonna be. Doesn't seem to be the huge Star Wars opening that we're used to seeing before. Granted, Rogue One, which is one of my favorites, I think did better than Solo's opening. But that came out this weekend. It's a good time though to be a pop culture comic nerd right now when it comes to theaters, because right now you've got Infinity War, you've got Deadpool 2, and you've got Solo, all three in theaters this weekend. It's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to be alive. So, there's that news for you. I do plan on picking up the first issue of Black Panther, the Intergalactic Empire, or the Galactic Empire, Galactic Nation, something like that. It's Coates' next run on Black Panther. I do plan on picking that up, and I do plan on reading the newest Justice League, which I have not yet. So I got those plans going for me, which is nice. With that said, as I said, today's theme is Memorial Day. It's that weekend. Tomorrow is the exact day, and I thought I'd bring up things I like to watch or read when it comes to this weekend. I'm one of those guys who is big on, I love history. History's one of my favorite things to do. Read, study about, learn about, what have you. I got a huge load of history books inside this house. This house is actually being propped up by history books. It's amazing. I still haven't read them all. I got quite a few I've read. There's still a few I haven't, and I'm working on it. Comics sometimes get in the way. Sorry. I got a few of my favorite books and movies here to share with you. One was given to me by a friend in the Marines. Now, feel free to chime in for anyone here, whether you've served in the chat room, if you've served, if you have family or friends who've served, feel free to chime in. Let me know the family you've had, how far back your family goes in the military. There's always a confusion as to how you celebrate Memorial Day and Veterans Day and Armed Forces Day. So to get that clear, first off, the big difference between Memorial Day and Veterans Day. Okay, so Memorial Day, which is this weekend, that is where we honor those who served and gave their life, are no longer with us. The soldiers who have passed. That's what Memorial Day is. Veterans Day is where you thank the soldiers who served and are no longer serving and are still alive today. So that is Veterans Day. Okay? Armed Forces Day is supposed to be the holiday where you celebrate and thank those who are still serving and with us today. They're still in the service, working as we speak. That is their day. Now, on any day, at any time throughout a year, you are, of course, welcome to honor those who have served, that have passed, that are still living and no longer serving. You're free to go thank them any day of the week, any week of the month, any month of the year. Do that all you want. All we're saying is that simply that this Memorial Day, this day, Memorial Day, that day is intended for those who gave their life, who served and gave their life and are no longer with us today. That's Memorial Day. So know that, because there's always a story of veterans who have people come up to them on Memorial Day and thank them, and on that day specifically, those veterans can be like, this is not my day. This is for those who have passed. Thank you, but today's not my day. And they'll tell you that. A military service member will tell you that to your face. Thank you, but today is not for me. So remember that. So maybe on Memorial Day, just be somber. Think of those who gave their life. And then the day after, then go back to thank you for your service, what have you. Just a little breakdown on what those holidays stand for and their actual definitions. When you surround yourself with military friends, you hear that a lot. And when you make that mistake once, you don't make it again. Because it means something to you. So, books I have. No, never mind the neighbor dogs that are barking as Indy walks to the door and plans on barking here shortly. Because she does that. Don't mind the chewing, because it is still Sunday coffee with the Azorean One, so you're going to hear this every once in a while.
Daddy, what's happening?
I don't know. It's DuckTales. So, two of my favorite books, right here. Now, they're going to be huge. Hang on a sec. Huge. I'm not going to bring him up. We're not bringing him up today. Huge books. First off, one of my favorites. Let's see, Pearl Harbor, Illustrated History. Pearl Harbor, The Day of Infamy, an Illustrated History by Mr. Dan van der Vaart. And it has an introduction by Senator John McCain. He has an intro on here for you. It's basically a photographic... You can hear the book over there. Those of you who are listening and not watching, feel free to look this book up. I got it at Pearl Harbor. I got it at Barnes & Noble. The title again is Pearl Harbor, The Day of Infamy, an Illustrated History by Dan van der Vaart. And that's Van der Vaart. That's simple of a last name. It's an illustrated book in history of everything that led up to Pearl Harbor.
Daddy?
Yes.
What's that do?
I don't know. Hey, Jackie. He forgets. Hope you enjoyed that moment of me looking off camera saying shh. It's a great parenting moment for those of you who aren't parents yet. Or those of you who have children who have not reached the ages of 2 or 4. Because let me tell you, when they hit the ages of 2 and 4, it's no holds barred. Okay? My boys, I've renamed them to the oldest being Thor and the youngest being Hulk because that's how they are with each other. It's great. It's great. It does great on the parent's mind and stress levels and anxiety. Anyway, so Pearl Harbor, The Day of Infamy, an illustrated history. It's basically breaks down everything from where the path to war began. It even goes back as far as 1853 and 54, where a U.S. naval squadron led by Commodore Matthew Perry forces Japan to open some ports to American shipping, ending centuries of isolation. So it goes all the way back to nearly almost 90 years before the attack on Pearl Harbor. And the relations between the U.S. and Japan leading up to that Day of Infamy. So it gives you a quick background on that. Then it does go over Hawaii, the island itself, the part it played for the United States, the planning by the Japanese, and the attack itself, of course, is illustrated extremely well in here. It even has the flight patterns that was used by the Japanese as they flew over Oahu. The attack itself, the images on here. I'm one of those who I go back to these historical moments. There's moments in time that I am addicted to. 9/11 is one of them. I am a 9/11 documentary history watching fanatic. When it gets close to 9/11, I'm the one who's on History Channel and on National Geographic, and I'm watching all the 9/11 documentaries that break down the build up to it, the heroes during that time, people in the buildings, John O'Neill, all that. I'm that guy. And Pearl Harbor in World War II was also one of those. So when it comes to these images, of course there's the famous, I'm going to show you Reading Rainbow right now, those of you who are watching on Twitch. That image, of course, we've all seen before. Yeah, the guy on the field looking up and seeing one of the planes exploding right there. Yeah, those of you who are just listening again, you'll be able to find it on this book, or it's pictures you've most likely seen regarding Pearl Harbor. But there may be some here you've not seen. Images from more up close perspectives. Yes, Jack.
What is this?
I don't know. I don't watch this new DuckTales. That's a cup. Shh. He's asking me about DuckTales characters. This is a new DuckTales. They've added new stuff that I don't know about. In fact, you know what? Now I'm not sure if we're on DuckTales anymore. I have not seen it. It's cartoons, so I'm fine. Got a quote here from Lee Sousey, pharmacist mate second class on the USS Utah. Even after I saw a huge fireball and cloud of black smoke rise from the hangars on Ford Island and heard explosions, it did not occur to me that these were enemy planes. Like, even when the attack was happening, they didn't know it was an attack. No, they didn't. Everyone was all focused on Germany. No one ever considered something from Japan. And this is coming from, soldiers, crewmen on this island who haven't fought yet. They're not expecting to fight. They're expecting to wake up Sunday morning in Oahu to a beautiful view to do their usual routines. Anyway, so this book is a really good one. I recommend picking it up. John McCain's foreword in the beginning is really well written. The guy's a hell of a writer. Whatever stances you have or disagreements you may have with his politics, which, of course, I have some disagreements with his politics, doesn't take away from the man he was in the military and the things you can say about certain aspects. And his intro is in the very beginning, right there. You get a chance, pick up the book. It's available probably on Amazon. Barnes & Noble is where I got it a few years back, but Amazon is likely most likely has it. Again, Pearl Harbor, The Day of Infamy in Illustrated History by Dan Vander Vet, with an introduction by Senator John McCain. That's a good one. I used this as a prop when I did the 70 push-ups challenge. Those of you who followed me...
I want to eat my bread.
Okay. Those of you who followed me on Instagram for quite a while now, the Azorean One, at the Azorean One, I did, for the 70th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack, I did the 70 push-up challenge for Pearl Harbor, where I challenged anyone who wanted to do it to do 70 push-ups in one day on December 7th, 2016. Excuse me, not 70. Wow. 75, Esteves. 75. Dad brain. You forget everything. I swear. December 7th, 2016 was the 75th anniversary of the Pearl Harbor attack. In honor of that, I issued the 75 push-up challenge, where anyone who could or felt like doing it were to do 75 push-ups in one day. Now, it didn't matter if you can do it in one setting, if you can do it in 2 sets,
Ow.
3 sets, whatever it took.
Ooh.
Then don't hit yourself. However many sets it took, whether it was 1 set, 2 set, 3 sets, I didn't care. I wanted 75 push-ups out of you on December 7th, 2016. So, if you feel like venturing into the past, go to my Instagram, the Azorean One. Go back in time, and in December 7th, 2016, you'll see a bunch of videos. You'll see mine. I took 2 sets. I did 1 set of 60, and then did a set of 15 later on. You'll see many of my friends. Many of them are service members. Many of them have family and service members. Many of them just wanted to do it because they wanted to show respect and show that they could also sacrifice for a day. So, go there, check it out. Got a lot of you up there. It was outstanding. Another book I love was given to me on Christmas many, many years ago by my siblings-in-law. That's the word. Wow. Siblings-in-laws way back when my wife and I were still dating. And now, quick bite of strawberry jam. That's good. Yeah. She's amazing. She's amazing in the kitchen. Sounds great. That's cream cheese. Yep. A little bit of a Phil's coffee out of the Marvel mug. Look at that. Look at that. Captain America right there. Look at that guy. There's Iron Man too. There's Spider-Man. And there's Hulk. Look at that. Daredevil. And Thor. If you're not watching and just listening, I'm sorry. I showed my mug to the camera really close. Apologies. Alright, the next book that was given to me was this huge, heavy book on World War II. It is an illustrated history of World War II. Trying to read the inscription there. Now, Crisis and Courage, Humanity on the Brink. That's what this book is. There was a huge, cover to this that's no longer on here. I took it off because we ended up using it because it had World War II pictures and used it for a decoration inside this house. Yes, we have World War II decorations somewhere in this home. You want to see it? You have to stop by. Want my address? I'm not going to give that to you now. Are you kidding me? Anyway. So, same idea. Right? Very first page, boom. You got that. Soldiers, prepping, getting ready. And it's an illustrated history of everything involving World War II. Not just the U.S. perspective, all perspectives. You've got... it starts off with Phase 1. Oh, Phase 1. There you go, Marvel fans. Phase 1, The Road to War. And it goes from 1918 to 1939. Pretty much follows the rehearsal for war, covering Adolf Hitler and anti-Semitism, the outbreak of the ghettos, all that leading up to 1940 with the Blitzkrieg, the Mediterranean, Japan moving south, and then Phase 3, the Global War. So, got that breakdown. You've got shots like these in here. Just hundreds upon hundreds, I'm going to say thousands of crosses at a cemetery there. And some stars.
Daddy,
Yes.
let's go to school again.
Okay. Let's see. There's a foreword by Senator Bob Dole. Let's see. It's amazing shots. Ooh, yeesh. You got pictures of Hitler and his cronies. You've got... Let's see. It shows what England was going through before the U.S. got involved. It shows what Russia was doing before we got involved. There's the Pearl Harbor attack. And the book isn't one of a biased U.S. side only. It does show all sides that were involved. And it doesn't paint us... Well, I mean, come on. We're fighting the Nazis. We kind of have the upper hand on morality in World War II. But it does show mistakes that were made by even the United States during World War II. Case in point, the Japanese-American internment camps. It gives a focus on what was done during that time. I'm showing to the camera right now. It's showing you Japanese-American citizens being put into internment camps, labor camps. So... It doesn't shelter you from what was done. It also shows the prisoners of Japan, how they were treated. It's fair. It's a fair book on everything that occurred there. Talks about, gives you, of course, Victory Over Europe Day, Victory Over Japan, the Warsaw Uprising, the planes used. That shows German propaganda. U.S. retaliations and propaganda, results of the Holocaust, the battle in the Pacific, which that got bloody, and everything after. How civilization tried to move on after this huge, this war that you thought would have ended all wars. Of course, I said that about the First World War, and that didn't happen. But no, it's a great, another great illustrated book. This one was done by, let me find the author here. Is this a book with no author? Oh, it's got a variety of authors in this book. Okay, you've got writings by Harris Andrews, John Bolster, Steve Hislop, and Jim Lynch. and designers Gia Bayek, Vincent Meja, and Ralph Groom. So this is a book that was put together by Barnes & Noble itself through Direct Holdings Americas, and just different aspects of writings taken from different writers, with, of course, the foreword by Senator Bob Dole. So, if you'd like that as well, that is the Illustrated History of World War II, Crisis and Courage, Humanity on the Brink. And it's a huge book. You could put it on your back and do push-ups if you'd like. You could. So those are a few books there. One other, I also have a few that aren't out right now, but there's the Band of Brothers and the Pacific books, which are fantastic. This one is more of a telling of a recent generation of soldiers. This one's called Generation Kill. It was turned into an HBO miniseries. Yes, HBO miniseries. Quite a few years ago. It's about the troops, the Marines that signed up for the war in Iraq in 2003. Those of you who may know him, his name is Rudy Reyes. Rudy Reyes has appeared on National Geographic. He is a huge military bro, big on fitness. Look him up on Twitter and Instagram. You see the things he's behind. He's behind something called Force Blue about protecting the reefs in the oceans as well. Great human, great individual. Follows me on Instagram. Great guy. One of my few celebrity friends, social media friends. But he actually is in this series playing himself. He plays himself in this series. It is about the 1st Recon Battalion. I'll read the back here for you. Within hours of 9/11, America's war on terror fell to those like the Marines of the 1st Recon Battalion, the first generation dispatched into open-ended combat since Vietnam. So it's about those guys there. I actually was given this book by someone who was part of a Marine Recon team. Also, a shout out to a friend of mine, Mr. J. Lopez. But I read the book. The show is on HBO still. You gotta wait.
Okay.
The show was in a miniseries on HBO based on the book itself, based off of a reporter named Evan Wright, who was there doing his work alongside the battalion as they moved in. So he had first-hand experience rolling with these guys. But yes, Generation Kill, both the book and the miniseries. Jack. Read the book, watch the series, enjoy. And of course, when it goes to book reading, there's also watching the movies and shows that I enjoy when it comes to this. And of course, there's the classic, Saving Private Ryan. All the time. Watch it quite often. Battle of Midway I watched yesterday was on AMC with Charlton Heston and Peter Fonda. And I'm forgetting one more, but there was more guys in there. That was on yesterday. What else do I like to watch? I enjoy being an HBO subscriber. Of course, I'm watching Band of Brothers and the Pacific and Generation Kill. Jackson. Generation Kill. Let's see. Saving Private Ryan, of course. Flags of Our Fathers. Letters of Iwo Jima. There's a good follow-up of Flags of Our Fathers. Let's see. What else do I enjoy? There's so many. But 13 Hours is actually a pretty good movie. Jackson, back at your seat. 13 Hours is a good one. Those of you who are afraid, no, it's not a big-time bashing of Hillary Clinton in emails. It doesn't even focus on her. It keeps the focus on the people who were there, who tried to survive during the attack on the embassy in Libya. Good movie. It's got Jim from The Office, John Krasinski. It's got Paul Schreiber, the stepbrother or half-brother to Liev Schreiber. It also has the guy. All right, so yeah, I don't know what happened at the end there. Twitch either got tired of me talking, or my Wi-Fi decided to trip up. But yeah, the ending of this episode got cut off for some reason. But basically, because I didn't get a chance to say goodbye, this is the Azorean One. Hoping you all had a great Memorial Day weekend. Had a fantastic, somber Memorial Day, and that you keep those in mind that have paid the ultimate sacrifice, so all of us can, live our lives. So once again, hope you have a great Memorial Day. Enjoy it the way you like to enjoy it, but take some time to remember those who gave up so you could enjoy. All right, on behalf of the Capeless Crusaders, take it easy.